person wakes up in a dark room and they know they're standing and they can feel that there are others in the room with them, but all they really hear is heavy breathing. All they hear is just movement and nothing's really happening. Everything's quiet. Then all of a sudden they start to hear noise outside. They start to hear gunfire. They start to hear all kinds of stuff. And then the door swings open. And you see one of the minor characters from The Walking Dead, and you realize you're a sentient zombie in a room full of zombies. And as the other zombies go out and are exterminated, you stand back. You stay back. And you're able to survive. So this film follows that first sentient zombie as it ventures out and starts to build their zombie army.
Okay, so it looks like Clint is here. And Clint, I already played the introduction to Sentient, and you already know what Sentient is all about. But what I want you to do is think in terms of our open call and the questions that you would have if you were coming to an open call for any of these films.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm just starting to settle myself in.
Okay. So, Katie, what are your thoughts on Sentient, and do you have any questions about it?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I think we all really like the idea, and you could see it in our faces when you were describing it. Like, we were so into it and listening to the story, and so it was really, mind catching. And I think what I would question is like how it would go about as far as like survival, as far as being a sentient, like going through the process. What would be the steps on how it would start? Like, I guess there's so much things that so many directions we could go. So how would we start that up? It's just curious.
So did you have any questions about Sentient, or did you want to see that introduction again, Clint?
I would like to see it because I didn't see it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the introduction to Sentient one more time, and then I'm definitely going to answer your question, Katie.
A person wakes up in a dark room and they know they're standing and they can feel that there are others in the room with them, but all they really hear is heavy breathing. All they hear is just movement and nothing's really happening. Everything's quiet. Then all of a sudden they start to hear noise outside. They start to hear gunfire. They start to hear all kinds of stuff. And then the door swings open. And you see one of the minor characters from The Walking Dead, and you realize you're a sentient zombie in a room full of zombies. And as the other zombies go out and are exterminated, you stand back. You stay back. And you're able to survive. So this film follows that first sentient zombie as it ventures out and starts to build their zombie army.
Okay, so that was again the introduction for Sentient. Did you have any questions about that, Clint?
No questions really. It's rather interesting. It sort of like reminded me of a zombie film that I watched probably a couple of years back, which also had an interesting twist called I don't know if you guys have happened to see it. It's called Warm Bodies.
Yeah. But that was more of a comedy takeoff on the whole zombie thing. And although in this film there will be some funny moments, to answer your question more, Katie, the film starts off in that dark room where this person realizes finally that they are a sentient zombie. And one of the side effects of it is that the vibration or whatever they emit as a sentient zombie, that draws other zombies to that zombie. So it's not long before there's a big sentient army of zombies. And we don't know much about the zombie until they have that first encounter with humans. Well, that first encounter with humans that don't try to kill them all. So after a few close calls, when they have that first encounter with humans where they don't try to kill them, that's when the film finally starts to pick up and go from there. And it's a thrill ride for sure. Now, if you were coming to an open call, Clint, what kind of questions would you have about Sentient?
I'll try to figure if it's. I might ask them if it's a comedy, if it's a comedy or horror. I want to find the balance.
It's a mixture. It's sort of a dramedy. It's sort of we want the zombies to be realistic, and we want their encounters to be realistic. But like everything in life, there are always moments of levity. There are always moments where you can throw a little bit of comedy in there. And when you got the living dead, there's always, especially when one of them can talk. Come on. That first time that a zombie talks to a human, it's going to be a funny moment, along with a serious moment as well. So now, since we have a lot of titles, let's go to our next entry. Cool